Like a general audience, like an outsider, like not outsider, like a general audience, I have a curiosity to know about the film, like, because we have saw a little teaser and a promotional song kind of video, little one. So it gives me a feeling like 300. Why? Because I've seen one or two special properties and one background and a lot of fears, obviously, NTR. And so I want to know more. So who's going to start?
So I think it'll be better if Shiva starts, because he's the one behind this idea.
It's the most ambitious film I have ever made. Ambitious in the sense, not in the terms of scale, but in the idea itself. So generally, see, from the inception of commercial cinema, fear is always portrayed as a negative emotion. But sometimes I felt that, even fear is very precious. So everyone need to have fear. So, and generally, a hero will be the courage in a commercial cinema, to everyone, to a group of people. But I wanted him to be the fear. The men in this world don't understand reason. They understand only fear. So I thought he should be the fear in the film. So with this backdrop, obviously, we'll have that kind of visuals, swords. So that's how the film is being conceived. So you might have felt that, because it's a different world, obviously you'll feel like 300 or Lord of the Rings.
So for me, that was the main idea, which when Shiva narrated, see, in commercial mainstream film, you've always had a protagonist coming in rescue for people, to give them a lot of courage to move forward. But here it's a very different take. The hero is actually, the protagonist is actually standing against people when there's a lot of courage. So sometimes too much of courage is also bad. So it needs to be a balance.
Oh, that you're saying it out in the film.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Pack the film with. I mean, see, sometimes a narration like this can become very preachy. Can become very preachy, but Shiva, with the strength he has on commercial movie, on this genre, I think he's packed up with a lot of action. Okay. So it is Devara is an action drama. Fear being the main platform on which the whole movie is built up. So it's a very new world which we've created. Mentioned when the movie started, it's the forgotten coastal regions of India. So we've geographically placed it in a very mythical world.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very fictitious world, obviously. But it looks very close to us. It's like a world we've seen before, but it's again something which we haven't visualized before. The characters, the behavioral patterns, the emotions, the drama. It's extremely high on drama and action. So I would probably say that Devara is a action drama.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you're playing around fear, then फिर मौका ही मिल गया ना पूरा मार काटने के लिए दोस्त. Then it will be great. I mean, I recently visited South Goa. So there's one part in South Goa. So one manager came out of the blue and he told about the action episodes how you shot, about the teaser especially. The crescent moon becomes a full moon with that. So should we talk about the action more, since you said like it's completely laced with action and drama?
I mean, I think Saif sir has also been a part of some phenomenal action sequences we've done for this movie.
They shot some incredibly large and violent sequences, and it was great fun doing the action. It's also really raw. There were some huge pelwans from because a lot of the action is about the fights between the heads of 4 different villages that fight for the ancestral weapons, and it's kind of the sequences I shot involved, a blood sacrifice to the gods and prayer, and so it was kind of mythologically rooted as well, and then really, physically demanding kind of stuff, and great action sequence. We shot a fight for about 7 or 10
10
10 days.
nights. 10 nights.
10 nights.
And we
it was
still
quite-
didn't get done with it.
Yeah.
We had to shoot for another.
The teaser fight?
Is it in the teaser?
Yeah.
I think it's the highlight. in the-
I think it's when you see Saif's glimpse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the
A
glimpse.
part of the glimpse has got that action in it. But
That running
it's-
bit?
The running bit is also there. That was shot in.
But the mixture of
forest.
shooting live in the Goan forest, some amazing locations you found, and patching that up with studio, you can't even see technically how it's done. Really well pulled off.
Would you rate this as one of your physically most enduring movies you've been a part
Yeah, I
of?
think it's been one of the most demanding films for sure. And as
There's a heap of weapons stuck to one mountain kind of
Yeah.
thing. The special shot on that. So, is it too much of a reveal if you talk about that?
No, I mean it's not a big reveal, but
Okay.
there's a lot which we've placed a lot of the story on that as well. There's no deity worship, so there is no belief in God as such. So what they believe is in
Steel,
the ancestorial steel.
like Conan. yeah. They believe in
Set in which century this is?
this. Have you said what time it is?
Yeah,
No,
it is in 90s.
80s and 90s.
This is set in
Okay.
I mean like a little bit of the early 80s and the early 90s or the late 90s.
Okay.
So it's an 80s and 90s.
But a very remote place.
But a very remote
Yeah.
place where, I mean, I see there are a lot of villages still, especially in South India also, I think it's there in North as well, that they don't worship a god as such. So there are, in Telugu we call them Grama Devatalu.
Yeah.
In Hindi,
Gram Devata.
Gram Devata.
Yeah.
So it's like that. So
Yeah.
they worship their ancestorial weapons.
Yeah.
So there is no deity worship as such. So for them, that weapons are the most precious.
Okay.
I mean, and they're ready to go to any extent for those weapons.
But whatever the ritual, you understand that it's a ritual. You're bowing to something. So who you're praying to and all, I mean, it comes through that it is about prayer. And like a kind of tribal group, people will connect emotionally to everything that they're going through because the basic drive is the same, whether it's greed or it's power or whether it's wanting to be the strongest or to control it. In that sense, not to give an example of another film, even a film like Apocalypto,
Yes.
sounded like an alien setup, but then when you saw it, it's just like looking at people next door also.
Yeah, exactly. Just
So connection is there.
Rooted, yeah.
But it's a very interesting visual. The costumes that we wore, the clothes were really basic, and it's almost like tribal pirates, in a way.
Exactly.
This movie. So it's got its own universe, which is always nice. The kind of visual palette and your production designs, Abu sir, and you really presented something that looks stylish and watchable in terms of visually. And at the same time, emotionally, it's got the strongest score ever because it's about all these basic
Yes.
emotions like fear and power and revenge. And,
Yeah, I think today audiences, they're liking when you actually take them into a very fictitious
new
world.
cinema. So the theaters, right?
Yeah.
The
so-
lights go out. And the
and then
things
you're
are
in that
a new
world and you don't want to come out. So it's, I think it's like, if you actually relate to Batman, Gotham is nothing but downtown Chicago. Or it's Chicago.
Yeah.
But it's Gotham.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of a world play that is happening today in Indian cinema as well.
Yeah.
If you look at movies like Bahubali, or you look at movies like Kalki, and in a way, even if you look at Animal, so though there are characters which are around us, but after a point of time in that film, you're just with Ranvijay. You're just in his family. You're sitting in that room in his house. So you just alienate people away from the present atmosphere and just take them into this fictitious world.
Yeah.
So I think that's 15 minutes into Devara.
Yeah.
You will be stuck in that world and you're going nowhere. You'll be there. You'll be in that world we've created.
Usually what happens in India, whenever we make a period film, some factor will jitter out. इसमें बहुत seamlessly जा रहा है सब कुछ. Costume, your special arms, background, nothing is popping out. That is, I really liked when I saw the first teaser and आपका भी जो teaser आया था. Nothing was popping out. I felt like everything was well balanced. the cinematography and production
They
design.
kept it quite basic, in the sense that if it's on the beach or the kind of village they live in,
Yeah.
it was, you could maintain a look
Yeah.
without risking that, this car
Yeah,
or something
True.
can stand out.
See, it's all about the character. See, they don't look very alien.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Janhvi, it's your first Telugu film?
Yes,
Sir, आपका भी first Telugu
And
film?
mine, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it your first?
it is my first, yes.
So, how is the language, lip sync dialogues and all that? How it worked?
That's so
Oh, she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh God.
She was phenomenal.
With the memory and all.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Randy sir used to call me tape recorder. After action, he said, okay, tape recorder on, and da used to come.
No, but लेकिन sir, I was shocked when I saw her. मतलब कि, ये लड़की आई है बॉम्बे से.
But she's got
क्या पता होगा?
South Indian roots.
हाँ, but
No?
But still, sir, see, speaking in Telugu is sometimes, yeah, obviously, but she was just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a scene where this woman just went. She went all out. And Shiva was just looking at the monitor, and he was just looking at me from there. I was walking, just doing this. I was like, she was fabulous. I mean, I was shocked.
Can you say something nice about me as well?
My day is made. I feel like I can leave the interview now. I don't need to worry about anything.
Sir, I think
Okay, I have to-
Hamara camera here has to be experienced in the movie.
Shiva sir told me, he said, don't worry. I said,
mean,
what
but-
about language? What about language? So he said, listen, don't worry. You can speak maybe Hindi or you can speak English, but it's just easy. Just come, just do. Firstly, when I was approached for the film, it was a great honor. I love Hyderabad cinema, and I think it's the future of a lot of Indian, Bombay actors, I think, would be lucky and excited to be in a big Hyderabad movie.
Sure.
And I was very lucky to get this offer. But I was worried about this thing. And then you said, just turn up. It's going to be an easy experience. Don't worry about anything. He gave me the most passionate narration. Yeah. Normally, my attention can wander. If it's not a great narration, I start feeling a little sleepy also. I said, rather read. But it was a spellbinding narration, very emotional. And, he came, we were shooting a film in Amritsar. And you must have said, get Saif or something for this role. Yeah, obviously, you must have
it
thought
was a
of this.
mutual choice.
What a
For me, I
compliment.
could never, somewhere when we wanted this character called Bhaira. So as Saif sir mentioned, see, we don't have names for different clans here. So it is one big hill where everybody is living. So the characters, there's no a particular name for a village as such. So there's like, वो north village वाला है, ये south village वाला है, ये west का village वाला है, और ये east village वाले हैं. So but it was just that. So when we were designing the characters, I think both of us really felt that, who is as powerful as Devara? For Bhaira. So Bhaira
What a compliment.
needs that kind of a cutout. So for some strange reason, both of us were looking at each other, and I really love Saif sir in Omkara, and I really felt that there is this intensity in him. I mean, though yes, he really has a funny side of him, which tends to dominate. Look at him
And
now.
all the nice things.
But there is so much intensity in Saif sir. I think that hasn't been captured on in movies.
Yeah.
In most of the movies.
Yes, I also personally feel that.
Yes. So, we needed that intensity.
Yeah.
And both of us were like, you know what, I think we should just go approach Saif sir.
So I said, well, how will I do it? He said, don't worry, just turn up. There's a nice big AC set and it's all this water stuff. And I've got these machines and you just sit there and chill and it's going to be a blast.
But that's
And he was absolutely right. I came there and language. So I said, first day, I had to say these lines to this lady who was playing this part. And I was being cued some dialogues and I said, I'll try and get... And the sweat started running down my back and I felt kind of a thrill that I hadn't felt for a long time. I felt I'm working even though it's our country and it's another language, but that diverse, it was like a new thing for me. I felt I'm speaking and I was panicking because I thought maybe I won't do it properly or I roughly understood what I'm saying. I tried to remember
You remember any line?
I knew you'd ask me this. But if you repeat, I'll repeat. No. But I prepared it. And I did one or two lines, and then they were okay in the beginning, the first line. He said, you won't have to speak much. It'll be one line, second line. But after a few days, he got pretty impressed with how I was doing it. And I got used to the language. Like you get used to anything after a while if you practice enough. And it's not that difficult also. And then after a while he said, okay, now do a page. And then suddenly the dialogue started getting longer. And I said, he promised me it'd be 1 or 2 lines. And then the assistant would come in the van and say, sir, a dialogue. And I'd say, okay, what? And then he'd go on. And I said, that's 2 pages. And he said, no, you can do it now.
Yeah.
So it's true, we did it.
Yes, sir.
And he would watch very carefully the lip and he said, it's quite perfect. And the greatest thing is my co-star or the lead who's standing with me, who also concentrated and helped, because a lot of actors, it could have been distracting. But how you have performed really well, despite the fact that I'm, I'm speaking a language where people are cueing me and I'm, doing that. So it's a patch together, but it works.
It worked.
I feel like especially on this set with Shiva sir, his approach with me was similar to the way that he approached your character. He was so relaxed. And I used to stalk him. If you see our chat, it's just me day after day. Sir, please, can I get the scene? Sir, how will I do it? Sir, please send the dialogues. And he was just like, just relax, just come on set. And I think his ease, and of course, sir's encouragement, just made me feel like, okay, I don't suck. I think I'm doing okay. And
You should actually ask her this question about how she manifested this.
Yeah.
And that's still a surprise.
Yeah, I saw some.
I was like, how? I was like, Janhvi, please tell me how to manifest. If I really have to manifest something, how do I do it? How do I manifest that Devara needs to be a super blockbuster hit?
Just say it in every interview ever. Wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror and say Devara is going to be a huge hit and everyone's going to be blown away.
Yeah,
I've
that's it?
started
Is that
already.
simple?
I think so.
Is it that simple?
It worked out for me.
I got information. I don't know whether it's a real information or a rumor. Should I ask you based on that? Is it okay?
Are you going to ask me or
the
him
camera is
or
still
her or
running.
him?
Yeah.
Everybody.
You and sir and yeah. I heard this one huge underwater sequence,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
which has come out really, really good. And
Yeah. It's
that's
very,
yeah. Can we talk about that? I heard you made a separate pool for it in Hyderabad.
Yes.
A huge one.
Till then, we had one option of shooting it in Kapoor, because that was one of the biggest pools we had to shoot in Kapoor. And then, for some strange reason, we decided to overspend on that movie and create a pool in the studio which we were shooting for predominantly our action sequences. And it was a massive pool because we really had we shot for close to about 35 odd days underwater. Underwater, over the water, underwater, over the water. That's a phenomenal episode which I think will really
So that's a lengthy sequence then.
It
30
is.
days.
It is one of the most key sequences of Devara.
Okay.
And again, because we're speaking about a world which is near the coastal, which is in the coastal regions of India. So we really had a lot of water elements, shoot on water, shoot in water. So we had these big diggers which came in and created artificial waves. We had wave machines.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had motors fixed into the water to give it the small ripples.
In the pool.
So there was a pool and there was a water tank as well. So we had a 200 by 150 water tank. So it was very high on, as I said, high on action. There are certain action sequences of Devara which will really, which will just sweep you off your feet when you're.
So you're getting killed in the first part, or you go to the second?
No, that's another thing, I heard. I heard, when I heard his story, it was great. There's a young look, there's an old look, and there's all this, exciting action and stuff. And I thought it all sounds great. And then they were shooting, and then the story developed. And I heard from Shiva sir that, listen, there's a change of plan now. And we're doing it in 2 parts. And in the second part, your character development is very exciting. This is what happens. And I don't want to maybe give that away. Yeah. But it's a wonderful thing. So he's not dead.
That's good.
No, he's rocking.
Yeah. Can we ask this like you both are friends or?
That's a lot of revealing.
Relatives?
I think
that's a lot of revealing.
We are kind of like also and
that's
like
still a lot of revealing,
relationship.
sir. I think we should not.
Nothing.
I think we should
Fine.
That's
But
still
there's
a
a
lot of
relationship.
revealing.
There's a strong relationship.
Yeah. There is a very strong relationship. So
ट्रेलर में तो समझ में आएगा होगा ना मतलब when we see the trailer we'll get to know I think.
yes.
उसमें भी hide कर रहे हो थोड़ा छोड़ रहे हो sir.
They both are
I think there's no point in hiding it. We are like
Yeah.
a few days away from release.
Okay. So you're playing wife, like girlfriend. What's happening?
That's a complicated answer. Yeah,
It's
it's
complicated
complicated.
with the
In my head,
status.
in my character's head, I feel like she oscillates from, oh, we're married and we have kids and everything's perfect, to like, I hate him.
Yeah.
So it's a wide spectrum. It's a complicated answer.
So very normal
So finally-
relationship.
Yes, I guess so. I guess so.
Nice. Well done, Shivaji.
It's a nice one. But finally, मिलता है कि नहीं मिलता?
सिर्फ पूरा
नहीं, फिलहाल
storyline
मिलना
ही
चाहिए
पूछ रहे हैं।
ना, तो उनको ही मिलेगा।
मिलना
उनको
चाहिए।
अगर मिलना चाहिए
क्या
तो
मिलता
वो I think
I'm like,
मुझे
ये
भी
मिल रहा है या
part
नहीं
two
मिल रहा है?
में पता चलेगा।
Is the hero मिल रहा है या नहीं मिल रहा? तो it's like हाँ तो
तो मिलना पार्ट 1 में हो रहा है कि पार्ट 2 में हो रहा है? मतलब ज्यादा हो जाएगा?
मुझे खुद
Yeah.
शायद पार्ट 2 में ही पता चलेगा।
Oh,
मुझे अब तक पता नहीं।
okay. Nice.
See, in a world of bees, how to place a girl. See,
Okay.
very tough to write Janhvi's character actually. It's easy to write Devara and Bhaira for me. In this world, how to place Thangam. But she pulled it.
no, she was fabulous, as I mentioned before.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for her character to unveil in part 2, where
The women are too strong in the film. Not men.
Actually, the
Bhaira
general
sounds
audience
like
are
someone who
waiting.
doesn't listen much.
I hope
Yes.
What,
Names-
sir?
Bhaira sounds like someone who doesn't listen much. Like,
That's Behra.
that's bad.
that's
It gives
Bhaira.
the feeling of the same.
Yeah, I never like.
No, just
Behra is a brave guy. I
phonetically.
mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that what it means?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like sir, like because of the Sridevi Garu's fan following, the general audience also, not only his fans, there's a curiosity in the audience to see them together.
Yes.
In the Telugu audience that.
Because there's
Actually-
a connection also.
Yeah. So
There was this photo shoot, which a look test.
Yeah.
Such with when Shiva first time, even before we started movie, there was a look test. So and there was this picture of hers which we released, obviously, long back, and she was sitting on a boat and looking into the camera. The moment Shiva showed me, I was like, oh my god, she
Yeah.
just looks like Sridevi Garu.
yeah.
I mean, she's. I mean, in certain angles, she just. I mean, looks like her. So we've tried to capture a bit of that also on camera, but and I don't think it's something you can capture in angles. I think it's the way she performs, or sometimes the way she just smiles. It just brings that reminiscence of Sridevi Garu back.
It's weird for me to say this, but I feel that more when I perform and speak in Telugu. I don't know if that makes sense.
Probably.
It just felt more like home to me.
Yes.
Got that, yeah.
What is the runtime of part 1 and what is the runtime of part 2, if at all you want to reveal
I
it?
mean, let's not even talk about part 2.
Okay. Part 1
We still
runtime.
don't know what the runtime will be, but 250. It's a decent runtime. It's about 250, 2 hour 55,
Okay.
2 hour 50. I mean, if you see, I really don't understand this runtime. Confuses me a lot, sir. See, the actual runtime of a film is less.
See, Sandeep asking about that.
I mean, you should not actually. I mean, how long was Animal, sir? 3:15.
3 hour 24.
Okay.
But actually,
So you're basically your eligibility of asking runtime has
Yeah.
been taken away from you. Sir. You're not eligible to ask about runtimes.
no, happy if films are bigger.
Shorter?
No, bigger because yeah.
But big cinematic films are
always,
running
yeah,
long now.
yeah.
Nowadays also, it's become
And
people
that
are.
too with this many strong characters in the
Yeah,
film.
that's what, yeah.
I mean, you want to narrate. When you want to narrate,
Now, if you're going
Might
for
as well.
part 2, I always feel it could be 3 hours. Then only 3 hours. Then only you'll
So we
feel
are
like going.
almost touching 3 hours, but we're not touching 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we might be somewhere a little lesser than 3 hours.
Yeah.
Songs
3 hours is
and
good, sir,
action.
because you'll not lose any show.
We've cracked and water is the toughest,
True. That's
especially when you have interactions with it.
Yeah.
So it's
The light, the water simulations, the light penetrating into the water.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's not physically challenging, it's mentally.
mentally also brutal.
Yeah.
And Randy sir, I think Ratnavelu.
Yeah.
I mean, Ratnavelu was really an asset for this movie. His cinematography is just.
I have to also weigh in there and say he was such a pleasure to work with.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we got along really well, and some of the lighting and the close-ups he's taken of my character. I don't think it was so nice to be
He
shot.
did not take the liberty of just brightening everything up because it's
He's killed it.
It's
I
a
used to say
commercial.
he's like
It's
an
an action
Italian
movie, no.
Renaissance painter.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
keep on
His light and shadow and the way he's like an artist.
Yes,
I mean,
and Sabu sir.
too good.
Oh, Sabu sir was.
Sabu sir is like quite a senior.
I mean, the
person.
kind of technology he knows is
Actually.
the
But I
boats,
saw
the
him
way the
touching
boats.
up
Yeah.
I mean, the boats we
blood on
created
the
for this
guy's back.
movie.
Exactly.
You can literally not only see. Of course, we shot in tanks. Like man-made tanks. The boats were made. But the boats, you can actually take
Use
them
it.
use it into
Wow.
the actual sea.
can-
You can actually go into deep
seaworthy.
waters.
Yeah. So your interaction with water will be great, that means.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
going to school for me. So learning a lot from Sabu sir. So when I told the story, he was telling, we'll create our own waves. I'll make boats, he's saying. So I was scared. How can you make a boat? All the stars on the boats. I don't know how those boats will be. No, I'll make boats are simple, he's saying.
But they were great,
Sir,
the
they need to
boats.
float, sir.
They were massive. Like they weighed a lot also. Like original boats. That 35 days of underwater shoot is by far very complicated, and the kind of stuff we've done. So there is this shark creation which we've done, and there's this mad interaction between the protagonist and the shark.
Oh, nice.
That was very, very, very tough to pull off.
Top of it, the movement is not easy under the water. It's again another challenge.
And the work and the problem is, Sandeep sir, only when you have those swimming goggles can you actually have a visual.
See,
But when you don't have that, everything is blur.
Yeah. And
So
it
for
will-
me, let's say there's this guy who's 10 feet away from me. So I'll have to swim literally, catch hold of him, do a flip, and then go out. So this whole shot is like about 15 to 18 seconds.
Yeah, it will take entire day maybe.
So this shot, while I'm going towards him, I can't see him. I'll have to exactly hold him,
Yeah,
at his neck.
I know.
So it was.
Obviously, the way we
Very,
see
very,
as an
very
audience, you will not see while approaching. because
Absolutely
you're
not,
you're
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because your work environment has been amazing. I mean, little care taken. We did a fight sequence where there was so much dust because of the arena that we'd put up. But someone put a big exhaust in.
Exactly, yeah.
So things like that make a big difference. I'd like to see more of that happening.
Devara too?
No, just generally. Because
I'm done with dust.
your sets were one
I'm done
of
with dust.
the best controlled on a human level, for even the staff.
Yeah, even on a discipline level, like I've never been on a set with as many extras as there were on this set in Goa and even in the Aida Puja sequence. So usually when you're shooting a song or this thing and you have so many people on set, there's always noise and chaos, and there's always the first AD screaming, "Okay, quiet, we're going for a take." There was just peace on this set. Everyone was so disciplined.
That's an achievement, sir, actually.
And
To have that a quiet set. Sir, how about the BGM? How excited you guys are about the BGM?
I'm
I
always
think
Anirudh's
the world
BGM.
knows what Anirudh is capable of. And
Yeah.
today I think it's not south or north anymore. I think the country itself is grooving for Anirudh's music right now. I think it's Anirudh's Hawa which is running all over. And he's just got this art of understanding a movie beautifully. I mean, he understands the movie. And the kind of background score which he's come up with for Devara, it's nothing less than any international movie. It's, in fact, I was actually making somebody listen to something, and they were like, "Oh my God, this feels like that Walt Disney's, symphony, like Hans Zimmer."
Is it recorded live from the
Yes.
orchestrated?
Yes.
Which is
yes.
amazing.
Yes.
We don't
So,
do that
no.
often enough.
So it's live music.
amazing.
Live, sir.
And it's
Background also.
he's done phenomenal. I mean, for him, I think, he probably one fine day, he would definitely be a part of some international project where he's scoring background for it. And
Because I saw a glimpse which has the English lyrics, which gave me not because of English music, because of the instrumentation also, it gave a very international feel.
International, different, no? And
Very juxtaposing feel for the Devara title and what's happening on the screen and the music. I really like
something
that.
so tribal with an international level.
yes,
Interesting.
so it's
Yeah.
he's phenomenal,
Viking.
Sandeep.
Exactly, even for the Bara glimpse,
Yeah.
Sandeep ji, I'm
Yeah.
sure you agree. I think it is India's time to be up there and showcase what our capabilities are as actors, as technicians, as filmmakers.
Yeah.
So I think it's our time. I mean, this we've waited for a very long period, and I think this is our time to show the world what Indian film is, and we're no less than any technician up there, and I think we're getting there.
But I love the characters in the film, all the characters. So anyway, visual will be a visual anyway, but trust me, you're going to enjoy the characters in the film rather than the world. Actually,
Very strongly written character.
yeah, all, including the women. Women are too strong in the
Yeah,
film.
very strong.
Character-driven films are always interesting. sir.
Always.
Yeah.
I personally like them.
Yeah.
I think it's the character which actually takes the movie forward. Of course,
Yeah.
you're making and this, that.
Yeah.
But it's characters.
See, it's not like regular hero, regular villain. They're all one family. The relationships between them, the conspiracies.
Yeah, थोड़ा बहुत leak हो गया अभी. Yeah. So sir, when you wrote this, you first you thought the title is Devara and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no other option.
Yeah.
It sounded something, very positive to me and powerful also.
Yeah.
So it's always Devara.
And especially when you have hidden so many things. Yeah. It is like, yeah.
So we actually didn't hide a lot.
Yeah.
But there are a few things which we definitely did.
Yeah.
We hid them. But
Yeah.
the greatest revelation for Devara 1 is what I'm actually waiting for. I want the audiences to actually, I can't wait for them to enjoy the main revelation of that movie.
Sir, I'll show, break me, I'll show one action episode of his.
All right.
It's called Simadri. I'll show you one fight,
Yes, please.
which was cut on a song.
No,
Very exciting. It's been like 24 years, now 23 years.
Yeah,
it's still exciting.
But I have to say something about him also? Let me just say, like, working with him, it was interesting. I worked with a lot of actors. And there was no kind of massive attitude or a persona off camera. He was a very normal, fun guy, came and made me very welcome, and we enjoyed fun chats and whatever. But on camera, when the camera is on, suddenly he seemed to grow taller and stronger. And I thought that's a remarkable quality, It was a really interesting quality.
Yes.
And then after cut, again, back to normal. But for that moment, it becomes larger than life. And I thought that was an interesting thing to watch. It was really, really
It was really quite magical,
So you were
honestly.
wonderful, sir, on camera to say thank you for
Thank
being
you so much.
a lovely co-star and a wonderful lead.
It was truly great working with both of them, and of course everybody in this movie, all the actors have done a phenomenal job. But I love it, Actually, you really don't need to have titles anymore.
That's what I'm saying, you
Like
call
for
a film
Animal Park,
anything.
you can just say.
That would work.
You can just say Ranbir Vanga 2.
Yeah.
Or RV2. I think that's
RV2 is a fab.
RV2, RSV. I think
I don't know. how
Ranbir
to
and
talk
Sandeep
about
Vanga 2. I mean, we should get there.
No, it's a new title he's suggesting actually.
I'm actually suggesting that.
I'm saying people love the idea. Title sometimes is secondary in the sense.
The first time when I came here to Bombay for an ad shoot, I was really scared. It was very intimidating because, oh my God, now that's Bollywood. Now how's it going to be there? How are the technicians going to behave the same way Telugu technicians behave or South technicians behave? How is it going to be? It was very intimidating. I'm like, every time I used to come to Bombay, and then I still remember when I was here for RRR, I didn't have that kind of a baggage which I came before. Slowly for RRR, of course, I had, it was Rajmouli also who was there as a brother, as a friend, as a mentor, as a guide, as a director. Slowly, they broke, while promoting for RRR. And now, when I'm here today, promoting Devara, I really don't feel that Bombay is alien to me.
Yeah.
I was here for about 20 days in June. I was working for a movie here, and I don't know, it's just so, it's not alien anymore. So there's so many unanswered questions, you're intimidated.
Yeah.
And suddenly you just realize that, oh my God, it's all
umbrella
the
of
same.
cinema.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it's just one umbrella of cinema. Yeah. I'm sure you felt the same
Absolutely.
when you came to
No, I
Hyderabad.
was
And then
also
now it's like
more tense with the language. I knew the people were so welcoming and nice and lovely, but that now it just feels what's it called? The horizons have broadened.
I mean, for you, sir,
Because
You've done Arjun Reddy there, and Arjun Reddy was
on the set. You are
like Shiva said, it was a very radical movie. I mean, like for you to from there to come here all of a sudden, and then you're here. You did Kabir Singh, and then all of a sudden you did Animal, and I really don't think that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had that a little bit of that
Did you feel that hesitation,
intimidation,
sir?
maybe.
No, but no, just in the break, Shiva sir was asking Sandeep, how do you feel coming to Bombay? You feel like home? मैं बोला sir, 6-7 महीने से ऐसा लग रहा है. Because it's like almost I stayed like 4.5 years to 5 years.
5 years away.
Yeah, so in making 2 films, so yeah.
I started feeling like home in Hyderabad when Sir sent me food from his house. That's when I was like, I'm home now.
No, people feel that anyway. You're a Telugu.
Yeah,
You know,
I feel
don't
like,
know why.
honestly, it feels like a homecoming. घर वापसी जैसे लग रही है.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that all these walls are broken, all these imaginary lines are just.
Yeah.
That's the greatest
Going away.
thing.
I think that's what-
It's amazing.
I think, sir, when you walk into the part 2, I think you'll be more
I agree,
free.
but
and-
I'm already became free.
Yeah.
Like after a while, like it was. 'Cause we shot quite a first day, obviously, and then easily.
Yeah,
True.
Quite confident, looking
Very
forward
much. Because we love actually him to be in the film. But I had a little thing because he looks like a rock star. See how he looks. And my Bhairab, is completely different guy. So after the look test, he's like my Bhairab.
Oh, yeah, but he had one curly hair look also. It was
to. Yeah, there's a lot. There are two
a
looks.
killer look. It was. I really like that look. Yeah.
I like my short hair look also.
Yeah. People love that actually.
The young.
But this one's tough to pull off, sir. I mean, like this long hair one, it's.
But
I mean, the
just
first day when I saw him, I was like, whoa, that looks nice.
But today, makeup and hair technicians also have become so good.
So good.
They can just change.
Earlier
yes,
wigs,
yes,
you had
wigs,
these
you could
nets,
see the
so you had
nets and
to
all
take it
that.
out, put that gum again and stick it, but now it's not that anymore.
Just sit on the chair and just listen to some music and read something, and they do. And then after a while, just ready. It was amazing.
See, everything is fun in the film. The only pain in the film is only for me. It's Janhvi sending a message. We generally, because being a writer, I try to develop some lines in the morning. Suddenly,
So it's like a spot development for him sometimes.
Suddenly I get an idea.
Yeah, suddenly you change a line and
Because I got used to that. But see, once the schedule
Dates
fixed.
come.
Sir, my lines, I get scared.
I was harrowing him every
Because he has to
day.
learn a line.
Yeah.
So he was
A new line is-
literally,
And I didn't want to do the coming on set and just saying anything or repeating what the person's saying off
Yeah.
camera. I didn't want to do it like that. I wanted to do it as properly as I could.
No, I feel she can pull it off. Please don't ask me this because I know you'll learn faster. So once you come to Hyderabad for part 2 at least,
No, sir, I'll still send you messages, don't worry.
But your replies also will be based on his last word suffix, right? That's
Yeah.
how you remember. If suddenly in a flow you will change, then you're off, right? That's how it
No,
works.
she's,
Have you
But
seen
I
she
know, I think
understands.
I
Okay.
She understands.
Yeah,
she
I
understands the
understand.
intention.
Yeah.
Superb then, yeah.
And
She knows
Sir
that.
would improv quite a bit. Even the other actors. It wasn't.
no, even Saif sir, he understands a lot. He knows when to react properly.
Yeah.
So because once he knows the
ultimately-
scene,
Yeah.
Forget the language, Sandeep sir. It's ultimately it's the expression.
Yeah.
See, that's what I feel. I said languages can be different, but expressions of
Yeah.
the emotion is always the same.
Yeah.
I still remember coming to Amritsar,
I
and
know.
now we are sitting here
Crazy.
for a narration. I think he was in shoot for some film in Amritsar.
Yeah, sir came in, sat very quietly down, peaceful. We've not met, and he said, "I said, pleasantries. I said, will you tell me the story or what?" So he said, "I'll have a glass of water, please." So he drank it and then took off. And then he was crying. Oh, lovely. I've seen artists do it a little. Very few directors I've worked with. Some have done it, but where you act out the mother's lines. And you've got tears in your eyes. She calls her son and she says, and you're there.
Yeah.
And then he says, then your part, you stand up, you say this. And then so every emotion of every, even the female, older characters, younger characters was given. And I was just sitting there for 3-4 hours. I didn't even realize.
I actually got my narration over the phone, the first brief. It was over the phone and it was as riveting and moving as...
That's amazing.
It was amazing, honestly. It was a 1.5 hour long phone call.
Was
and
it a video call at least?
No,
or
it
No,
was just
a
his
phone call.
voice and it was... I was
Amazing. All right, this is the role.
I'm not just saying because I'm sitting here and talking to you as like an interview, but I'm really excited. Huh? with all these inputs and yet to, you know,
You're excited. You're interested. We are tensed. We are nervous because
yeah,
we've put in a lot of effort. Of course, at every movie,
yeah,
everybody puts the same amount of effort, but sometimes you just want something to just work, only for you to get that confidence to tell a few more stories. You know, deep-rooted stories. I think that's what we are waiting for, and hopefully on the 27th of September.
yes.
But thank you so much, Sandeep sir,
It's my pleasure meeting you all.
being
And-
here.
Interesting.
Yes, and I wish you a very good luck.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And you too,
I'm
sir.
waiting.
Thank you so much. Like, all the best for your
Spirit.
next movie, Spirit, and many more to come.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah.
But thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah. First day, first show. Pakka.
Hanji, sir.
Yeah. I'll message you all.
Absolutely.
Yes, please do.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.